Hello and welcome to the Femina and the Economic Times Power Brands Coffee Table book launch. I'm Ruchika Mehta and I'm the editor of Femina magazine. Today, I have a very special guest with me who is a power brand in herself, the dynamic fashion designer Masaba Gupta from the House of Masaba. Hi, Masaba.
Hi Ruchika, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Welcome to a virtual chat once again. It's always a pleasure having you on board and always a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you. My
Hope,
pleasure.
hope you've been well and everything's
Yes,
okay.
yes. All well, all well.
Work's picked up.
Yeah, it actually has. It's been much better than what it was in the first quarter of the last year. So yeah, things are looking up.
Super. So, Masaba, you predominantly are a very critical spoke in this whole virtual summit today that we are doing on power brands because in a very short span of time, you have become a brand in yourself. You started off as a fashion designer, but today Masaba Gupta is a brand to reckon with, not just as a designer, but also as an influencer, as a youth icon, and also as a huge inspiration. So, just in in some short words, what do you say brand Masaba stands for? Not the House of
Uh,
Masaba, but the brand Masaba Gupta. That's you. What do you think?
uh, I think I stand for fearlessness, most importantly, and a very unapologetic attitude towards everything I do. I think that I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of my years just, self-doubting and not being able to really articulate what it is that I want out of life, whether it was to me or to somebody else. And I think that today I'm in a much better place like that. I think I see myself as somebody who's a go-getter. I see
Mhm.
myself as somebody who doesn't have any limitations. I can take on many roles and be many different people. And at the end of the day, I think I see myself as somebody who's actually a really private person, but living a very public life.
Super. So, what do you think caused this transformation? What prompted you to come out in the open, the way you say, and bring the change about in you? What was the reason for the transformation?
I think it's a part of growing up. I mean,
Uh-huh.
a lot of the time, things are thrown at you. You have to go through some obstacles. And I think when I started my label and started to become a businesswoman, that was when I really started to feel a shift in my personality. So when you're dealing with lots of people, when you're managing lots of people, when there's people dependent on you for so many things, I think what tends to happen is that you have to emerge and become a more
Right.
mature version of yourself. So I
And
think
adapt.
that's and adapt, and I think that's exactly what happened with me. It was a part of moving from a creative individual to an entrepreneur, and I think that. I really, really don't like being mediocre. So I think once I decided that, there was a big shift in the way I saw things and the way I presented myself to the world.
Absolutely. And at what point of time in your career, when you started off as a fashion designer, did you think there's an entrepreneur in you? Most fashion designers continue just designing fashion. At what point of time did you think that you will be an entrepreneur today with all the big brand tie-ups that you have and all the big endorsements that you have? That's truly a very strong entrepreneurial skill in you.
I think it was maybe 5 or 6 years back. But that I think the seed was sown right at the beginning. I don't think that you get up one day and say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
There's days like, the whole of the pandemic, that days that I hated it. I said, why wasn't just like a creative individual making clothes and
Right.
running a small team? What was the need to grow at this rate? But I think that when I started off itself, I knew that I didn't want to be just a boutique brand. I didn't want to just be somebody who has a small little, um, label that is not really available anywhere, that doesn't have a retail footprint. So I think I knew that from the very beginning. I think the courage to take it on really came maybe 5 or 6 years back. And I think entrepreneurship is all about courage, actually, nothing else. So
Absolutely. And that's
yeah,
when you said fearlessness.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Masaba, what would you say is your USP as a brand? We'll come back to the House of Masaba, but what is your USP as Masaba Gupta when people look at you as a brand and want to tie up with you all the time?
I think there's two things. One is that I look at myself as a chameleon. I think I'm somebody who is constantly changing. And like you said, adapting. So I think they see me as somebody who's not stuck in another time. I'm not stuck with my own ego in a different time. And I'm always trying to do new things. That's one. The second is the massive youth connect I have. I think
Yeah.
that's very, very important. Which is why you see a lot of institutional brands coming to us for collaborations. So they
There's a
see that,
Puma, they're youth brands like Puma and Nike.
yeah, and even Titan Raga, for example, it's such a legendary brand. And I was very surprised when they came to me a couple of years back because I said, there's anything that could have been done right, it's done right at Titan.
Absolutely.
And what is it that I can bring? But then I saw what I can bring. I think I bring a freshness, I bring a certain vibrant energy, I bring a new energy, most importantly, and that helps them connect with the youth. So I think that's the reason why we are such a favorite of brands.
Super, that's a very strong point. And you are also one of the strongest youth influencers on Instagram and on social media, and your following is huge. I think that's a huge draw with you. Well, okay, if I may go back to your initial years to where you are now in your journey, what went behind making you a brand? Who were the people instrumental in it, and what were the other elements that came into your growth in this part of journey?
I think my mother was the most important because she was that, and I keep saying this that as an entrepreneur, you need the support of family.
True.
And she was the one who was my accounts head, so to speak,
Perfect.
back when I started off. And then there were obviously lots of people that we got on. And I think everybody, I would say my core team when I started, which probably were 7 or 8 people. And I'm talking about the whole office. This is just
Right.
7 or 8 people, in terms of
Wow.
everything. I think I give it all to them because they probably, today it's very easy to say I want to work with Masaba because obviously it's all over the place. But I think to say you want to work with me when I was nobody, I think
Right.
was really, really nice. So I think my mom definitely, my stepfather is somebody who's been super instrumental. He's
Wow.
somebody who always is a sounding board of sorts. And yeah, I think these are the two people. I mean, I built it completely on my own with the help of my family, and yeah, that's it.
Super. Today, I mean, we are so proud of you and all your achievements, and we see where it's all coming from. That confidence, that talent, of course, cannot be without talent, but that confidence and fearlessness, which is a great word for all our women out there to hear and say. Masaba, coming back to your brand, your fashion brand, the House of Masaba, your fashion line, that is another brand that you've created, which has its a very unique identity. It's unconventional. It has those sensibilities which are not typically so Indian, and
Right.
um, that has again become another brand. How did you kind of steer that path of making House of Masaba unconventional and yet connect with the youth out there with their sensibilities?
Whenever you're doing something that hasn't really been done before, or you're presenting it in a very new package, it will be, it'll instantly be lapped up. So I think when I was starting off, I didn't think, oh, I want to do something quirky. I want to do something kitsch. The way I dress is actually very, very different from that. My own personal style is mostly black or white.
Yes,
And
you seem
when
here in white right now.
yeah, exactly. So, and I think I wore black the last time we
Yes.
spoke, you know. So that's the thing. I just think that I knew that there is a serious market out there for the youth that is very, very interested in fashion and very interested in Indian fashion. It's just that it hasn't been provided to them. I think 10 years back, every person who was a millennial today used to go abroad and shop.
Right.
There was no concept of shopping in India except if you were getting married. So I think the idea of a ready-to-wear designer coming out of India, doing something quirky, doing something that was a fresh take on color, giving them something that had a little bit of nostalgia in it. I think that's what really got the attention of the youth, because the youth is a very evolving consumer. They're constantly looking for things, they're constantly looking at things in a different light. So I think I just did what my gut said, and it turned out to be a success, I think.
That's true. And I think today everybody just wants to own that one piece of Masaba in their wardrobe for sure. It's just a fun, nice, and also I think what stood out in your brand was that it could be worn on all occasions. You know,
Yeah,
there was something to wear out for a champagne brunch, and there was something you could wear out for a chic cocktail as well. You could
yeah,
just team it up with a nice pair of shoes, and you could walk out in that same outfit to step into
right.
a casual cocktail in the evening.
Right, right, absolutely. And I think more than that, the affordability of all of these things, because you must understand that India is a price conscious market. And if the more you offer at a decent pricing, the more takers you'll have.
Absolutely, we are very price sensitive as a community, as a breed as well. What, according to you, are the three essentials of being a brand? What should be the three essentials of which go into making of a brand? It could be personal, it could be your product, it could be anything. But according to you, what do you say are the three important things?
I think one is what is the gap that you're filling in the market. I think that's very important because design and the fashion industry is very crowded. So what you're doing is already being done by others. So I think you have to understand what is the gap in the market and fill that gap as a brand. That's one. The second is your product is everything. I don't think any amount of PR, any amount of marketing, any
True.
amount of events or celebrity endorsements can change a bad product. Your product has to be good, and that's what people will remember you for. The third thing is how fluid you are as a creative person. So by fluid, I mean, are you in touch with the changing times? Are you aware of trends? Are you aware of what people want? Do you have a sense or a touch and feel of what it is that people will want in the future? I say it's almost like fortune telling sometimes, where you have to
Right.
guess what the person will want at some point. So I think yeah, all of these three things are very important for brand building.
And what are your favorite fashion brands personally?
I love Anamika Khanna. I love, wow, there's so many. I love what Shift, Nimish Shah has done with
Right.
Shift.
Yes.
Uh, I
Very
was a
young and
huge,
progressive.
very young and progressive, very, very European, actually,
Yes.
very global sensibility. Um, I love Ikaya. It's a
Mhm.
Banarsi
Yes.
brand. It's
Yes.
great.
Absolutely.
Wow, there's so many. I love Dhruv
It's one of
Kapoor,
my
who's,
favorites as well, Akaya, and
yeah,
right in my neighborhood back in Delhi here.
yeah, yeah, correct. And even Dhruv Kapoor is great. He's doing some really cool, fun stuff. And internationally, I love Stella McCartney. I love Jacquemus. Yeah, I think I love what Virgil is doing with Louis Vuitton. So I think yeah, these are all of my favorite brands.
And which, according to you, are the two, three big fashion power brands globally?
Uh, wow, that's a tough one, but
Yeah.
I
The
think
House of Vita, maybe. Tory Burch. Yes.
Tory Burch is
Yes.
definitely one. It's great. It's a great brand both on paper and off it.
Yeah.
Um,
Good one.
and I
That's
think that's
important.
that's so important. Everyone says, "Oh, but this brand, I don't see." it." But you have to understand the brand is doing very well commercially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so them. I am a big fan of what Anita Dongre has done. I think of her as a
Yeah,
brand, as a global
absolutely.
brand, and I think she's a powerhouse. So
Yeah, and
all
actually
of her,
transform the landscape of Indian fashion in terms of
yeah. I mean, there's
authenticity.
nobody if you think
Yeah,
of it. There's her
yeah,
and there's Ritu Kumar. So I love what both of them have done with their brands.
yeah.
And lastly, I think Tiffany and Co. Because
Mhm.
they have, I just think when a brand has not changed much about it, be it the color, be it the packaging. I mean, the Tiffany blue became something, and that
Yeah,
became a trend. So
yeah.
I just think that, and I love that they weren't in a rush. They entered India very calmly, very slowly, at their own time, at their own pace. So I like brands that are not in a rush. I think that's why I love Tiffany, and
And
what
they
a great
maintain their ethos and tradition.
for life, and what an iconic brand. Yeah.
Yeah, and now maybe after the takeover by Vuitton, by the house of
Yeah,
Vuitton,
by
that's going to kind of
LVMH.
propel the
Yeah.
brand even more.
Yeah,
It
I'm
will
waiting to
take
see what happens there. But
yeah,
I must say, what Bottega Veneta has done is that the shift in design, because Bottega Veneta at one time I remember started to repeat itself a bit, but then there was suddenly this fresh burst of newness, and yet in keeping with their tradition and their iconic weave. So
yeah.
that was great.
Especially
Yeah,
with the clutches. The clutches were very interesting.
so popular. Yeah,
Popular,
yeah.
and they've come out with that lovely gold and silver clutch. If you've seen the pure silver.
Yeah, and also their colors. I feel like they were traditionally a brand that didn't do bright colors, and now you have the yellows, you have the oranges, you have the hot pink.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice.
And what's your take on a brand like Hermes, which kind of course, is the originator of the orange. It's the orange Hermes. But even they have kind of evolved over the years, and they have reinvented themselves from just being saddle makers initially to the royalty to
To now
uh,
lipstick.
now lipstick. That's what I'm saying. I was coming right there. Can you imagine a traditional brand like Hermes getting into cosmetics? And that too with
You
the
know, what I love about these brands is that they just don't ever compromise on their aesthetic.
right.
They may enter new categories, and I think Hermes is the perfect example of that. That they will do everything, but they will do it in a manner where you never feel like they dumb themselves down,
You'll
in
always know
order
it's
to
an
fit.
Hermes.
Yeah, I just think that signature is so strong in every product. So it's a great brand to learn from. I love Hermes. I think that I look at them more as art,
Yeah.
less as a brand. So they're evergreen. I mean, they're going to be around for forever and ever, I guess.
And Misaba, do you plan to diversify your brand into another vertical? Maybe would you plan to get into cosmetics? Would you plan to get into
I
other?
have a line of cosmetics with Nykaa.
That's
I
right.
do lipsticks with them. I do nail paints with them, and we're building the portfolio soon. Um, I think for me, it's time that I do a lot more. If there will be other brand extensions, of course, cosmetics we're doing, but when I do other brand extensions, I will do them myself as Masaba. I don't plan to, collaborate with others because I've been in the business for 11 years now, and I think that the time to really grow Masaba itself has come. So, yeah.
So are we going to see some big plans unfold in 2021?
Well, hopefully, I feel like 2021's first quarter is just going to go into picking up from where we left off,
Left, hopefully,
March
fingers crossed with the
2020.
vaccine out now.
Yes, yes, and I think people are slowly getting back to normal life. So I would say wait for the announcements for the later half of the year. This first 6 months we're literally just waking up from the pandemic, so it will take
Slumber.
some
It was the
time. The
slumber we all were
slumber,
slipped into.
yeah, yeah,
Literally, literally.
yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best for the year, this year and many years ahead. And congratulations once again for doing such a phenomenal job, not just personally, but even with your brand and bringing that freshness and youthfulness to the youths that needed it.
Thank
And,
you so much.
and
Thank
thank
you.
you for joining us once again. We look
Thank you.
forward to many more new announcements from Masaba Gupta, the brand, and the House of Masaba, another brand of hers. Thank you,
Thank you.
Masaba. Stay safe and look after
Thank
yourself.
you so much, Chika. Speak soon.
Bye. Speak soon.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Love. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.